only one we needed.
Yes. Did you always know you had season 2 in your mind when you were doing season 1?
About midway through filming season 1, I had a germ of an idea, but at that point it wasn't even a thing. You know, we didn't even know if it would happen or not. And then the series went out and it got this good response. And Apple were like, you know, might you go again? And so we said, look, we have an idea, but we don't know if it's a full series yet. So let's put a room together. And if we feel like there's something there, we'll do it. But if we don't, will you let us off the hook? And they were like, yeah. So they you know, which is great. And then we found that there was, you know, a great series idea and a proper reason to do it, I think. You know, because as much as I loved the first season and how it ended, it was a bit of a fairy tale ending, you know, like woman lives happily ever after, you know, offing her other half. And really we wanted to show the reality of what happens when you've been in an abusive relationship like that, when you've been isolated from your family, and how difficult it is to ask for help, you know, when you've been in that situation. So I'm delighted we got to do it.
Obviously it's a comedy, but I thought I love that part of it, that here, kind of a serious subject, like when someone's in an abusive relationship, they can have the closest family. She's got these incredible sisters and couldn't say anything.
We're so ashamed. I mean, it's not a comedy, it's a drama, but with funny, you know, it's a drama with comedy in it. And I think it's really, well, for me as a storyteller, it's important to show comedy even in the darkest subjects, because that's real life. I mean, it just is. We all go through terrible things, but there's always a moment where we crack up, or someone says something terrible and it lightens the mood. And so, yeah, I've forgotten your question now. I was so intent on telling you it was a drama. No, it felt like if ever you deal with a difficult subject matter, I feel like comedy kind of helps. You know, I think it's just about treading the line and getting the tone right and never feeling like you're, you know, laughing at the situation that you know, I mean, the whole thing has to just be truthful and believable, and I think then you can kind of get away with anything.
I love your character. She's so badass.
Yeah, pretty badass, yeah. I wish I was a bit more like Baby.
Do you pump yourself? I think, like, if we're in real life, like, I should be more like Baby. How can I be like Baby?
Yeah, I think not giving a shit it would be first and foremost, and not being afraid to just speak your mind. I think she's a brilliant truth teller. Yeah.
I hate to say it, I feel like all women should heed that advice.
Right now, yes, exactly.
Were you, when Shazza told you there's going to be a second season, were you like, how in holy F is she going to get a second season out of this?
Yeah, I think we were all hoping, and we would like, towards the end of shooting season 1, we would like throw in a lot of ideas, be like, you know, not that she took any of them on. She's much smarter than we are. But yeah, I was like, how's it going to work? Where's it going to go? But she always had the body in the suitcase. She always knew that was something that she could build a story from, and I think she's just a genius. Sharon Horgan is a genius.
What makes the Irish sense of humour and, I don't know, sensibility so special?
I think we're a nation of storytellers, but in terms of humour, I think when the chips are down, I think is when we really shine in terms of humour. People need to laugh, and in your darkest moments, what gets you through is laughter and humour.
They have a kind of a WhatsApp group, this group, and they're always sending each other pictures, so I never join it. So now I've got a picture for them, and I can take them with me being told off by the photographers.
Wait, are you part of the WhatsApp group, but you never...
They're all in the WhatsApp group. Yeah. They're all in it. So it's anybody's birthday, we hear, happy birthday, everybody. So it's an amazing family. So I don't know how long that will last, but it's gone on for a year now.
That's adorable. And what did you love about working on this?
I loved everything about it. I suppose I loved Sharon's writing. I loved Dervla's direction. I loved the group of women who were so welcoming, so kind, and so they themselves were so grateful that they were in the second season. They were sort of in joy that they had passed some terrible test, and how, you know, there are a lot of series being made, and very few float to the top in the way this does, because it's very hard to float to the top. So it comes from, you know, massive rigorousness from Sharon's writing, and a great sense of playfulness. So, you know, none of it is easy. It's always hard to get these things to work. but pure pleasure.
Do you feel that you have scarred possibly generations of children as Petunia Dursley?
Well, sometimes when I get out of an airplane at an airport, children start crying, and then I know I have scarred at least a few children. I'm very glad. That was that job. No, I'm in other jobs.
But you're non-stop working. It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Well, I mean, because it's hard to have a career in acting.
Well, I don't know. I worked for 30 years in the theatre, and so I feel that I'm the Paul Mescal of the 60-somethings. I'm having a new career in my 60s, and I'm enjoying it very much.
Why Paul? Why did I love that image? Why Paul Mescal?
He says, he's having a love affair with acting. I think I am again having one.
You know, you've been a bit spoiled from having this as your first big show, right?
Yeah, I really do know that. Yeah, I know. And such a good show to walk into as your first kind of big role. So.
And not just that, it's like critically acclaimed and then huge all over the world. Is it wild? It must be weird having that kind of recognition that's now worldwide because it's streaming.
Yeah, very weird. I would not have expected this in a million years, honestly. It's even crazy that I'm in New York right now. So, yeah, it's very crazy, but, yeah.
Have you done anything fun in New York?
Yeah, definitely. We went sightseeing today. We went to Times Square, Central Park, all of those kind of shops, and just went shopping.
Two things. Did you pick up something good, and did you think Times Square was disgusting? Because it is.
I didn't think so at all. I loved it. Well, I was just blown away, probably just overwhelmed in the moment, but yeah. But yeah, I picked up just some makeup for tonight. Yeah, I needed some, because we don't have a lot of shops in Ireland, would you believe, because I live in a very small town as well, so we wouldn't have any kind of mainstream kind of shops, so I just went to everywhere I could. So
Funny. Did you go to Sephora?
Yeah. How did you know? Yeah, I went there.
And what's the best advice that Sharon's given you?
Best advice? Probably just because this is my first kind of show, and this is Apple TV, this is a big deal, and because the Irish accents and everything has to be clear and everything, so probably best advice would be really enunciate and pronounce your words, because that is something I do struggle with. So that was definitely the best advice. I've taken that with me everywhere. So yeah.
Were you super excited when you heard there's going to be a season 2?
I was delighted. I was also quite surprised, because I thought there was just going to be one season and done. So I was absolutely chuffed to hear that there was going to be a second season, and was more than delighted to be a part of it. It was great.
Is it different working on a set with mainly women, with majority female cast?
Not much more than it would be working with men or women. I think just working with amazing people, amazing actors, amazing creatives is always something that, as an actor, you want to find. And this show has that, and they happen to be majority women. And I was delighted to work with Sharon the first season, and to get to work with her a second time. And I would work with Sharon any day of the week. She's an incredible writer, and she has such a specific knack for finding that balance between comedy and drama that she does really well, and then mixing in the kind of Irishisms. She really seems to understand Irish comedy as well, and so yeah, I would happily work with her any day. She wants me, she can call me.
I feel like this show's huge, right? And because it's streaming, it's around the world. What has your life changed because of it?
Yeah, I definitely feel 2021, I believe, was when the first season came out, and it's definitely changed the landscape for me moving forward, just meeting with other directors and creatives. Bad Sisters is something that comes up quite consistently in terms of the work that they've seen me in. So it's changed my career moving forward, really, it has. Even I've just moved to New York, so I'm actually currently a New York resident as of last week, and not that I get stopped quite a lot. You know, it used to happen in the UK and London, but it seems like in New York or in America at least, Bad Sisters is just so big, like so such a big show. So I've been like recognized and stopped by a lot more people than I would have in the UK, funnily enough. So it just made me aware, wow, that the show's done so well over here, and has done so well for my career as well.
So wait. You don't. I would like the address where you're living, but I know you're not going to give it to me. So
I won't give you my address.
I'm teasing. But are you in the city or are you in Brooklyn?
I'm in Manhattan.
You're in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And do you like? What do you like about it? What's been surprising? What's been like? Oh, I can't believe this.
I moved on a very interesting week. I moved last Friday. But aside from that, I've just found the city to be, exhilarating, and you can't escape the city. So you walk out, you feel the energy from it, and I think that's something that's very rare and unique, has its own heartbeat that you can't find anywhere else in the world. So I've been here only a week, but I already feel like I'm being formed by the city in a good way. So I'm delighted to be here.
One last question: do you get annoyed by people who walk slowly?
Yes, I do. That is a big pet peeve of mine. How did you know that?
Because it's every New York.
Is it every New? Because it happens in London too. But I think for me right now, I am the one who's walking slowly because I'm new to the environment. So I'm kind of taking things in. But that is definitely a big pet peeve. You too?